Hey, fam, or should I say, hey, lovelies, and welcome back to Kisima, where we talk about all things wellness. So today, I actually had different plans around making a video, but just had a conversation with one of our book club members talking about, tips around kind of being a little bit more responsible and even planning around moving out and how to navigate, if you're living with family, how to minimize conflict there and like create as much peace as possible before the moving out happens. And one of the things that I shared with him, because I lived with my parents for 26 good years. Woo! I'm 28. Well, 26, I didn't count college just because I was still coming home and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so one of the things that I shared was starting to act as if you're already living by yourself. So when I was living with my parents, they were gracious enough to pay my rent. They were gracious enough to not charge me. I would pay for groceries. Some days they would just tell me straight up, no, you can't pay for groceries. We're going to pay for it. Use your money to save up and prepare to move out. But then I realized the more I started acting as if I was already living by myself, right? Noticing if anything's broken, calling the repair person. If I notice something's not working as it should, replacing it for them. I used to drive their car a lot, so I would always put gas in the car whether or not I used it or not. Just knowing that they're being gracious in all these other areas, for me, like the least I can do is this. And this, sometimes they would refuse for me to pay for stuff, so I would take the car to get cleaned. I would watch the twins for free. I would take them out for free so my parents could have date nights and whatever. And if like my parents, for the longest time they haven't given me a curfew, but when I used to have a curfew, it was because they would give me curfew, I'd break it, I wouldn't come back home when I was supposed to, I wouldn't tell them where I'm going, I wouldn't update them when I got somewhere, I wouldn't update them when I got home or back on campus, blah blah blah. But when I started acting, they're like, hey guys, so last minute plans, so and so asked me to go out, I'll probably be home around this time, see you then. Like my parents like stopped giving me curfew because they knew I was acting responsibly and they knew they could trust me while I'm out to act responsibly, to get home safe, whether it meant driving or taking a cab or staying with a friend. And they knew that I would update them every step of the way, and they knew I was committed to, my own safety, one, but also being in integrity with them. So just remembering that you have to become that thing which you aspire to be in the future. Like you don't just show up to your apartment and you're like, all of a sudden I'm responsible. All of a sudden I save up for rent. All of a sudden I can pay all my bills. Oh, because at the time I was only paying for my cell phone bill, basically, and then everything else was like when I gave it to them and they accepted, or when I gave it to them, they'd be like, nah, keep your money, girl, save it. I would go on vacations, blah blah blah. So then I started acting like I'm already paying rent. And every month I would save up like the amount of money for the apartment that I wanted to live in. And then I would also pay for utilities, or I would save for utilities. And when I moved out, oh my gosh, it was amazing because, first of all, I was always saving more than I ended up paying because I moved in with my best friend and we were splitting rent. So I ended up having a lot more in savings. And even when times got tough, like we could both jump in and support one another because we had been so fiscally responsible already. And then like now that I'm married and me and my husband work as a partnership and a team, you know, it's it works amazingly to be financially responsible, to have my credit score on point, to be able to know how to manage my debt, to know how to pay off stuff every month. If it's an interest card or that's already past the timeline of zero interest, like that thing is paid off every single month. And the cards that still have a few months to go before interest kicks in, okay, I could space it out, but I know how many months it takes for me to pay it off before the interest kicks in. Another thing that I offered around like feedback was, how do you show up while you're living with other people? Do you notice that you have impact? Like if like I know my mom was, don't let the dishes sleep in the sink, period. Did I actually do that? Like did I actually um if the dishwasher was empty, did I load it up? If the dishwasher was full, did I actually wash the dishes in the sink by hand? If the sink was already empty and I came home late, like my mom cooked, left me food out or in the microwave or in the fridge, Did I heat up the food and just leave the plate in the sink, or did I actually just, in my appreciation that she did that for me, I ate the food and actually washed the dishes, cleaned off the counter, wiped down the stove, wiped down the microwave, made sure the dining table was cleared out if they left it still set for me. Like, what, how are you showing up in relation to people and appreciation for what they're actually offering you? Because when you live by yourself, or when you live with now a partner like my husband, how do I appreciate him when he does things for me? But also expectation, like how does he show up in appreciating what I do for him and in valuing that? Acts of service are not deserved, they're given willingly. And our response in Thanksgiving is to do, the gracious thing or the courteous thing, or to go above and beyond in showing gratitude by, cleaning the dishes, picking up clothes when you leave them on the floor. If somebody's doing your laundry, sort it. Like, my mom will be like, let me do your laundry. I'm like, nah, ma, you already bought the detergent, you bought the softener, you bought the whatever. Like, the least I can do is my own laundry. Actually, like, bring your laundry and I'll do it for you. Like, do you offer to do those kinds of things? Do you offer to pay for bills here and there? Do you just show up randomly with bags of groceries before being asked or before offering? Because, like I told you, I would offer to buy groceries and my mom would be like, nah, chill. So I would just go grocery shopping. I mean, I knew the list. Like, I lived in the house, I knew what was missing, and I would just show up with the stuff. Or my parents and I, like, we know each other's account numbers, so I would just put it in their bank account. But like, those were my ways of trying to show gratitude for how above and beyond they came for me, because I knew I don't deserve it, but it's something that they found me worthy of. And in my thanksgiving and gratitude and being a good steward over that, the least I can do to show my appreciation was those things. So, just to encourage you a little bit, like, if you find yourself in similar situations, whether it's work, like, if you want a promotion, are you acting already like a leader who deserves that position? Do you show yourself like um, equipped to handle responsibilities that come with that next position before you get it? Right? They don't hire you with hopes that you'll show up and be qualified. They hire you because you've shown that you have the qualifications. So, how are you presenting yourself as somebody worthy of that position or not? Are you dressing for that position? Are you connecting with people or engaging with people in a manner that shows you worthy of that position? If it's in pursuing a love relationship, are you showing yourself as somebody who's courteous, considerate, loving, a listener, a good communicator, somebody who is financially responsible and able to care, somebody who's invested in a future with this person, somebody who is committed to their family and shows this potential partner how committed you would be to them? Or are you contradictory and that's kind of causing the riffraff in those situations? Yeah, let me know below. I want to hear a little bit more. Like, I know this is not just pertaining to me, or something that only I go through or I have gone through, or this person that asked me for the feedback or asked the book club for the feedback is going through. I know a lot of us are, and it can show up in different ways and forms. So let me hear your comments below. And until the next video, talk to you later, lovelies. Bye.